Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We knew we were going to be here at some point in time. It was only a matter of time. And now we are here. Ron Coleman, the attorney for SmashJT, has officially filed for dismissal against Alyssa Mercante's ridiculous defamation lawsuit that she tried to pull against SmashJT. Now, Ron Coleman is what you would call a real lawyer compared to some other activist lawyers that are out there that are doing work pro bono just to try to own the chuds. But that's besides the point. You know, we won't name any names, but Ron Coleman has officially filed for dismissal. And when you see his response in this dismissal, you're probably going to laugh your ass off. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, it's always a beautiful thing to see a real lawyer at work. And keep in mind, anything can happen, obviously. We know that Alyssa Mercante has a little chance of winning compared to losing, but ultimately anything could happen. You know, you could get a terrible judge that has a certain hate boner against the judge for all you know. You really have no idea. But ultimately, it looks like Ron Coleman is filing for his anti-slap, and he just very well might get it. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Plays. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So the headline reads, SmashJT attorney Ron Coleman files motion to dismiss Alyssa Mercante's defamation lawsuit, citing failure to state a claim. YouTube personality SmashJT has taken a significant step towards his legal battle against former Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante. SmashJT's attorney Ron Coleman of the Dillon Law Group has officially filed a motion to dismiss Mercante's defamation lawsuit, arguing that the case lacks merit on both legal and factual grounds, which we already know that's 100% the truth for the most part. Obviously, people have been making fun of this lawsuit since the beginning. These are two people that have had a hate boner for each other for a while, but Alyssa Mercante has always been the one that wants to take it the next step whenever she gets her feelings hurt. That's essentially what happens here. She has ruined her entire career. She's ruined her life for the most part, all because she wants to own the chuds, all because she wants to be the martyr that, starts the hate boner against the chuds. That's really what it is. She wants to be the one that is referenced in a victory against the gamer gators, because that's what her and her ilk all want to do. But ultimately, free speech is a thing. Maybe if you lived in a communist state, you might have a chance, but for the most part, you're not really going to win here. But we never know. Obviously, you could have an activist judge for all we know. Then it says, in his filing, Coleman's first point zeroes in on the jurisdiction of the case. He notes that Mercante filed her lawsuit in New York, where she resides, despite acknowledging in her own complaint that SmashJT, real name Jeff Tarzia, is a resident of California. Coleman argues that there are no claims indicating that Tarzia conducts business in New York, making the choice of venue questionable. We already knew that. Coleman cites legal precedents, pointing out that simply posting content online, regardless of its accessibility to New Yorkers, does not equate to conducting business within the state. Courts have consistently ruled that availability of allegedly defamatory content online doesn't establish grounds for a case in New York if the defendant has no direct business ties there. Beyond jurisdictional issues, Coleman asserts that Mercante's complaint fundamentally fails to state a valid claim for defamation. He argues that because the lawsuit touches on politically charged culture war topics and includes a significant amount of political rhetoric, it lacks the factual grounding necessary for a defamation claim. Well, see, that's the thing, right? The nature of SmashJT's content is that he covers a multitude of different topics within the gaming industry. It could be Alyssa Mercante at the time. It could not be Alyssa Mercante at the time. People like to say that he makes 20, 30, 40 videos on Alyssa Mercante, but to be honest with you, the guy has made 20, 30, 40 videos on different studios within the industry. We all have, right? I do 3 videos a day every single day. I haven't spoken about Alyssa Mercante in over a month now, probably almost 2 months now, aside from referencing it maybe once in a while in a live stream. Haven't made a video on her because she's not relevant. She's a complete loser, right? At this point, this is the first time that I'm talking about her because now we have relevant information. This is how it works on YouTube when you cover content like this. So when she made this claim and she tries to make it seem as if his entire channel is based on her, it's ridiculous, right? And you have all her simps out there trying to pretend as he's doing the same thing, like, oh, all his content's based on her. Bro, shut the fuck up with your absolute nonsense. You know for a fact that is not true, and you're just out here hoping, even if it's a 1% chance, you're hoping that she owns the chuds because you secretly want the chuds to fall, that you can't even be objective when looking at the situation and realizing that, oh, These are two people that clearly have a hate boner for each other. She makes articles attacking the Chuds all the time and claims they are pieces, whereas SmashJT makes videos attacking the Wokes all the time. I mean, this is how it goes on YouTube. But again, you're gonna have people every now and then, every 5 to 10 years, you're gonna have that one person on the online space that wants to take it to lawyers because they really think that they're the special one. They really think that they are gonna be the ones that are gonna win the defamation lawsuit, even though there's almost a 0% chance of them winning. They still believe, because they're so narcissistic, that they're the ones that are going to change everything. Well, let's look at what Coleman has to say in his response, because this is where it gets hilarious. As Mercante is a public figure, Coleman emphasizes that she bears the legal burden of plausibility, alleging all elements required for a defamation claim, including actual malice. He states that merely labeling statements as false is insufficient. Instead, Mercante would need to provide concrete facts demonstrating that the statements were knowingly false or made with reckless disregard for the truth, which, by the way, is impossible, right? It's impossible because she herself has essentially made them true, or at least plausible, by her own statements, which thankfully they highlight in screenshots as well. We got tons of screenshots. Coleman also highlights that the complaint fails to specify any special damages, which is a requirement under the per quad standard for defamation cases. He states that without a clear allegation of harm that resulted directly from Tarzia's statement, the case lacks a necessary legal foundation. The most prominent claim in Mercante's lawsuit centers around Tarzia allegedly referring to her as a whore. However, Coleman counters this by presenting multiple screenshots from Mercante's own ex-profile, where she has openly discussed her involvement in industries where she performs suggestive actions for money. Now, this is the official screenshot of the actual dismissal motion, and if you look here, it says, in any event, plaintiff's own online content established that, as a matter of law, she cannot establish either that the characterization of her as a whore, which is a woman who has multiple sexual partners or is sexually promiscuous, was either damaging to her reputation or even false, as shown in the screenshot at the right of just one exemplary post by her on X, where she admits that she wrote a sex blog in Boston bar looking for content, talking to an Olympic swimmer. A Shakira song was playing and her music video was on a TV in the bar. Unprompted, he went, "She's kind of fat." So she decided to sleep with him because she knew it would be bad. It was, I eviscerated him in a post. Everyone got a pseudonym, and he messaged me for weeks after begging me to take it down and asking if I really did hear him farting all night, which she says that she did. Again, she literally admits to sleeping with someone just to own the chud. I don't know how sleeping with someone and giving them your booty is somehow going to be owning the chud. I'm sure he felt terrible after he slayed that vagina all night. Yeah, I'm sure you really got him feeling bad about himself. As to more explicit allegations of page 182, the full context of defendant's statement is provided by various online posts by the plaintiff herself. To meet her burden under New York law, her allegations must plausibly allege that not only the description of plaintiff regarding sex work as well as the exchange of sexual favors were false, but that the defendant knew that they were false or was recklessly indifferent regarding their falsity where he made them. And again, this is multiple screenshots where she says, "Happy International Whores Day. I used to be a cam girl. Sex work is work." She literally calls herself a fucking whore. Then, of course, how do you get into the gaming industry? I suck dick. Alyssa Mercante says, "I find it endlessly fascinating that a group of people who tout the merits of late-stage capitalism and screech about consumer rights are somehow against sex work when that's just another very lucrative way of making money. It's almost like you hate women." Again, there's multiple screenshots that they have. These are just four on one page that completely destroy her narrative about, oh, he called me a whore and that's defamation. No, bro, this is not how that works. Then he finalizes and said, defendant submits that in light of Twitter X post shown above, plaintiff cannot meet this burden, that each and every claim for relief in the complaint suffers from comparable deficiencies, that plaintiffs do not have a plausible path to amending the complaint, and a New York anti-SLAPP law entitles defendant to relief including attorney fees and costs. And then he says, see below, and references a case, which is Bobulinski versus Tarloff. This is hilarious, by the way. This whole thing is hilarious. Using Mercante's public statements against her, Coleman argues that she cannot meet the burden of proof required to substantiate her claims. If Mercante herself has made similar admissions in public forums, it weakens her argument that Tarzia's statements were both false and damaging, which anybody with a brain, right? Anybody sincerely with a brain, whether you're on the left or right, you can see the situation and say, okay, Alyssa Mercante, you kind of ruined your own case, right? She's continuously ruined her own case every single day that she's been online. Even now, as she continues her little mantra or whatever, every now and then, like when I saw her on David Jaffe's stream, she completely destroys her entire case about, oh, he called me a whore, he called me a sex worker, and that's not true. You literally said all of those things were true. You cannot sue for defamation if you yourself have admitted to those things being true, whether past, present, or future. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.